There's only one voice of Townview.
This is Scissor.
What's up? This is The Weeknd.
I'm Travis Scott.
This is Drizzy.
Trust me, at the top it isn't lonely. It's power, it's power. Fire never goes out. Yeah, feel going bad on you anyway. 24/7. I am LMA. Burn it down.
KSBM Radio.
Hey, we're KSBM Radio, the voice of Townview. I'm Mr. Penguin, and I'm joined with
Pluto,
Sit Lolly,
and Onion.
So first things first, what y'all doing with summer this year? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, what's the plan?
I don't really have any plans at the moment.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go to Mexico for a baptism and then come back and then go back to Mexico again for Chichen Itza. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's gonna be fun because my grandma died and I haven't seen hers in like a couple of years, and I can see her, what's it called? Her what's it called? Her thing.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, like her plot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be nice. Yeah.
Very good. What about you, Onion? What are your plans
I'm
for
probably gonna go visit family like in Houston. I don't have like my full summer planned out, but then I'm probably gonna like work full time besides going to Houston. And what about Mr. Penguin?
I'm probably gonna work a lot. I kind of want to get a new job, just like a fun job.
Yep.
I was looking at like jobs at museums to be the gift shops.
Ooh.
I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, that is a good. That sounds like a really good job, honestly.
Like I was looking at the Perot Museum because they have an opening, and at the Museum of Art.
I love the Museum of Art.
That sounds like fun.
We're gonna come visit you.
Yeah, for like, what kind of like discounts you would get? Like, would you get it for free? What's the deal?
I think you do. I was reading it yesterday, but I kind of forgot.
Do we at least get like 80% off for like buddies that come and visit her?
Yeah, exactly. Like friends and family discount, maybe.
I'll give you a discount, but I don't think it's 80%.
Even like 10%.
My job only gives like 20 or 30% off.
Oh, mine is 50.
Dang.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to flex a little bit.
I know, right?
Yeah, sorry guys, but I guess it makes sense if it's like pet things. Like a lot of people buy those like a lot. Like I know grocery stores, they're only like 10% off sometimes usually because it's like it's groceries. I guess
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought it was really fun. But what about you, Pluto?
I mean, I don't really have any plans for the summer. I'm probably, as lame as it sounds, I'm probably just gonna hang out with my mom.
No, that's not lame.
I'd be like that too.
Yeah, I'm probably just, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know where life is taking me at the moment. So, I guess we'll just see. We'll see.
Family bonding time is always good.
Yeah, exactly.
Mother-child time.
Exactly. And then we have like graduation coming up. I'm a little.
I know.
nervous.
I'm ready though. I'm ready. Like I feel like I'm just dragging on. Like,
Nervous but excited, And I feel like this is the time where senioritis really starts to kick in. Like
it's kicking in right now.
Yeah,
It's been kicking in. It's spinning.
It was kicking in September when the school year started.
Yeah, actually. I don't know, because literally this is our last official month.
Yeah.
Because May the 13th is when senior activities start, and that's it.
And then isn't like May 6th is prom now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, May 6th is prom.
Very soon.
I just got my prom dress yesterday.
Yeah.
Slay.
It's green, no?
Yeah, it's green and it has like gold detailing. It's nice.
Ooh.
That sounds fancy.
You have to post a picture of it and your close friends.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. Please, some spoilers.
I don't know, guys. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
But let's get into our hot topic. So, our hot topic is the dangers of film industry for a child star.
Yes.
What is y'all's opinions about that?
So, honestly, I feel like the regulations we have now, they're good, but I feel like they might not even be enough. Honestly, I feel like there should be more restrictions on child stars. I know, like, I think a lot of places in Hollywood, they hire people, like, way too young. Like, they hire babies and stuff, which, like, I get you need a baby for your movie, but, like, can't you use, like, a fake one or something?
No,
because,
for
like,
real.
having a baby, like, clearly a baby cannot be like, oh, my gosh, yeah, Mom, I want to act in a movie. Like, a baby cannot talk.
Like, they know they can CGI that baby in.
Exactly. Like, technology has advanced so much that we do not need to be hiring babies to work on movie sets.
But it makes it feel more real. Like, this like the natural reaction of a baby, because sometimes CGI, if you don't have a good CGI team, it's not gonna look good. It's
Like Twilight?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Really
where that
scared.
baby whose eyes was, oh my God, it was terrible.
Well, that one was a robot.
It was?
Yeah, it was a whole robot.
Oh my
and it was
gosh.
an ugly robot.
It was scary. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, they have like those parent simulation robots. Was it one of those?
I was watching like a little like behind the scenes. It just popped up on my YouTube. And there was like a big robot, and they said it was so heavy that they had to have support under it from like other cast members.
Oh my god!
And the actors were holding it, and for a long time too. They said it was
so
hurting
weird.
their backs.
That's a whole arm workout.
Well, they could just use Baby Alive, you know.
Not the baby alive.
Yeah, exactly. They could use like a fake little baby doll and like edit it a little bit more to look realistic. I feel like there's no need for a real baby who's gonna be like crying, you know. Like I feel like it would just be hard to work with either way. Like it wouldn't be cost efficient at all because you have to. Even though it's a baby, you still have to pay it. Which is kind of crazy to me. Like, that says more about the parents than, like, the producers, I guess, to me. Like, because if you're, like, offering up your baby to, like, because, like, the scene lights are, like, all hot, you know, babies will be uncomfortable and all that working.
For real. If I was a baby, I would be extremely upset if my parents made me, you know, play that role in a movie. You know, I will spite them for the rest of my life, even though I barely have any consciousness.
I feel like it would be fun to be a baby and be on a movie. Like, oh my god, that was me, guys.
True.
Oh my god.
But you won't even get clout because no one can recognize you when you're a baby. Like,
you won't even,
though. Like, imagine the Gerber baby. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who they are unless you're like, yeah, I was a Gerber baby. And then no one will believe you.
For real.
What if you had, like, photos from me and, like, your
True.
parents took photos? Like, guys, this is me. Come on, guys,
But
believe
do
me.
you really want to have to go through all that just to prove that you were, like, the Gerber baby or something?
I don't think they allow you to take photos on set.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even, like, I don't know, man. That would be kind of cool, like a secret little photo.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, a lot of child stars get like exploited in this industry, you know, like some familiar actors that we know, like Megan Fox, Lindsay Lohan, Natalie Portman, you know, things like that. And some famous actors such as like Cole Sprouse have even spoken out about the way that female child stars in particular get treated by the network and things like that. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I know they like make them work like long hours, you know, like outside of their like a lot of companies will like try and find a way around like the child labor laws that are like, oh, they can only work a set amount of hours, they have to have like time for school. Because I know a lot of child stars, they like don't go to school or they do like online school, but they only do it for like an hour a day, you know, like just like do some work and they'll be like, oh yeah, I went to school. So it's kind of like, I don't know, they shouldn't be exploited in that way. I feel like they should really follow the strict, because if you think about it, kids aren't even allowed to get like a customer service job until they're 16, maybe 15 in some states. But like, it doesn't make sense that a kid should be allowed to work at like a whole set, like where like a bunch of adults are, you know,
for like 12 hours a day.
Yeah, because like movies, it seems easy to be like an actor, but like then you think about it, like there's hot lights on you, there's like people demanding everything,
Memorizing
like
lines.
yeah, you have to be on your feet, you have to like be running around, everything. Like it's a lot for a kid.
For real.
I don't know, because, like, I feel like even though you go through all that, you still reap the benefits, like, later on. Because I know you don't get the money. I feel like right now, I know you get the money now. Because, like, back then, parents were the only ones that kept the money. But I feel like they changed that recently. And you can reap the benefits from that, like, buying all this stuff for you, like, what you didn't have before and all that.
True. I know they have, like, a Coogan law. That's, like, you have to put 15% of the like income the child would earn into this account that they can access like once they're an adult. So I think that's like a pretty good law, because I know a lot of parents, they were just like selling their kids into this like industry basically, and their kids would just be like left with nothing. Their parents would take all of it, which was kind of messed up. It says a lot about the kids. It says a lot about the like parents, like not good people.
Yeah, but then there are some parents that are like, I think they ask their child if they want to do this for real, and then they like take good care of the child. So like, for example, Natalie Portman, I know she was in Leon the Professional. Yeah. And she was supposed to smoke on set for like a scene, but then her parents were like, no, you can't do that. She's still a child. Yeah. And they like had to come like to a compromise to let her like at least hold a cigarette. And they were like, all right, fine. It's just like a matter of compromise in like certain situations.
The fact that they would even ask her to like smoke the cigarette, I'm glad her parents put her foot down, but the fact that the industry would like ask her like, oh yeah, you're a kid, like that's illegal first of all for kids to smoke cigarettes. And the fact that this company was like, oh yeah, you can do it, like you should totally do it on TV.
Yeah. If this was the 80s, it probably would have been a lot different, because they would allow kids to like do stuff like that back then. But luckily now I feel like there are more laws to protect children, but then again there's also a lot of people who may not follow it or may like find a little loophole or will dance around it or things like that, you know. So yeah.
True. I always feel like you can just cast, like if they want like teens or something, you can always just cast like an older person who, because a lot of older
do that
people
all the time.
Yeah, older people look young sometimes. I mean, sometimes they mess up with it and they cast someone who looks really old. But like, if you like look for it right, like there are some like adults who are professionals that look like kids and can play the parts of kids. All the time,
But like if you're an adult in that industry and you're casted with other kids and you're supposed to be like a kid, like what do you think like something like wrong would go there because like, it's an adult and then a child and they're the main actors. I feel like that'd be like weird.
Yeah, and there's like contracts that like, you can't do other like what's it called, other like work like films and movies. You have to do this one for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, like with Zendaya, she has like her contract with Marvel and things like that because she's in the Spider-Man movies. But then like in Euphoria, there was like a lot of nudity, there was a lot of nudity in that show, and she signed like a no nudity contract or whatever because she was working in like Marvel films and things like that, But
yeah. And then like, how do you guys feel about movies that like they're adult actors but they're supposed to be kids and it just shows them doing like vile things, like sometimes it can be like it gives you like a weird feeling, like they're adults but they're still, it's like
you're playing teenagers.
You're pretending to be a kid and you're doing that. It's kind of like weird to see, but I guess it does show a bit of like real life. Like sometimes those things do happen, but it's like
it's kind of like awkward.
Yeah.
I know your age. You shouldn't be doing that.
Exactly. Like you're supposed to be 16. Why are you? What's going on here? Like it just doesn't sit right with me.
No, for real. It's like you're 16, yet they're having you play like a drug addict. Like, I mean, I know there are some teens out there that probably are struggling with drug addictions, but I feel like the average teenager probably isn't going through something like that. Like me or, Sitlali or Mr. Penguin, things like that. I'm just kind of like,
Yeah, that's why, like, I know a lot of shows, like, I think that show, like, the reality of, like, being teenagers. I think, like, sex education, like, they're like, it just shows how awkward they are. Like, I kind of like those kinds of shows because, like, oh, yeah, me.
It's very realistic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's just like shows like Euphoria where, like, Maddie is, like, has on, like, a new type of cute outfit, like, every day of the week. And it's just kind of like a lot of the teenagers that I know, like, rotate the same 5 outfits each week.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Right.
That's where I see, like, an issue coming in when like, adults are playing teenagers because, like, it's just not accurate.
Yeah, so, like, I guess there's pros and cons to it, but, like, would it be safer for, children in the film industry to just have an adult, like, play these types of teenage roles rather than, like, having kids or, like, kids our age, actually play these roles and risk, getting, like, exploited or something like that?
I definitely agree. I definitely think that adults should play the roles because kids, they shouldn't be having to do that. They shouldn't be having to do that in public lighting. I feel like a lot of kids, they should just be, like, in school, I mean, unless that's something they really, really want. But I feel like they should definitely start in their later teen years, not when they're, like, 5, 6. They don't know what they're doing. Like,
exactly. Like with Lindsay Lohan and Parent Trap. You know, like we've seen how her career has turned out. And I want to say, I mean, it's kind of as a result of how she was exploited in the industry, like, when you see Lindsay Lohan nowadays, kind of like, what's going on, girl? Like,
something messed her up. Like,
yeah, and honestly, in my opinion, I kind of feel like it was her being in the industry at such a young age, and having to do all of those things and being in all these movies and being around adults who might have not have had her best interests in mind, while doing these things. I kind of feel like maybe her doing all that was ended up, putting her where she is today.
I feel like a case we overlook so often when we're talking about child stars is Judy Garland. Because, like, ever since, like, a young age, she was, like, forced to do stuff that she didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And she was forced to eat stuff she didn't want to do. And she was, like, I think she was hit one time for, like, messing up a tick so many times.
Oh, my gosh.
And then that was too much for her. And that was like, the beginning of her, like, starting to do drugs, because it was as a result of the film industry. Like, I think it started with The Wizard of Oz for some reason, and her mom was like, I think she was like forcing her to do some of these things. Like, I think I remember she was in blackface one time,
Oh goodness.
and she
Oh,
she
I
didn't want
remember
to-
that. Yeah, I do. I
She-
do know about that.
she didn't want to do it at all, but she was forced to do it.
Yeah.
And that can ruin someone's like life, because people will cancel her, people will like do all these things even though she like didn't want to. That's horrible that they would make a kid do something that they know, like, I don't know, I know some deep down in their hearts they had to know, like,
They knew what they were
that
doing.
would affect her career.
Yeah.
That was a bad thing. They shouldn't be forcing someone to do that.
Yeah, but the thing is like back then, those types of things were okay. Like they wouldn't even bat an eyelash or stuff
Yeah.
like that, you know?
Like, thankfully now people will call them out quickly and it'll be handled quickly.
Yeah.
So like, and like on Twitter, they'll cancel them immediately, and then they get
Yeah.
all the backlash from
Oh my
that.
gosh,
And it's like,
yeah.
oh, we gotta stop. Because back then, even if you called them out, they'll make you hush. Like they'll hush you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like today, social media, if you do something they don't like, they'll be on you. Like we saw what
True.
happened with Zoe Kravitz.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yes.
with
Yeah.
Daniel Caesar, where he was like, I don't care if a certain group of people listen to my music. And then we ain't heard about Daniel Caesar since like 2016, 2017.
True.
That man fell off the face of the
It's
map.
true.
It's true. Yeah. So it's just like back then, I think because they didn't have the internet, I think news didn't spread as quickly. And because, social awareness wasn't
Yeah.
there back then, it was a lot different. But I feel very bad for, Judy Garland, the things she had to go through it, at such a young age.
Yeah. And then sometimes with like media, like sometimes kids are like, they're scared to speak out, or they think it's like normal,
Yeah.
Like I know, like, remember like with Nickelodeon, like, and when all the like allegations about Dan Schneider, is that right?
Oh
like
my gosh,
all the allegations
yes.
about, they
I
came out like
remember
recently, like not super recently, but like way after the shows had been like over.
Yeah.
So it's like they went through that and then they were out of it. Like Ariana Grande, she's like already successful. It's really great to see people like being
Yeah.
out of that career, but like still, like you look back at like old videos and stuff and you're like, oh wow,
Yeah.
yikes, that's
I-
horrible.
Like, I feel like one example of somebody who was able to make it out of, like, Nickelodeon and wasn't, I guess, like, corrupted, for lack of a better term, was Miranda Cosgrove.
Oh yes,
You
she
know?
was, because she's still like relevant. Yeah, you
Yeah.
still see her in a bunch of new movies, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I saw her in some movies the other day. I was like, oh wow, it's Miranda Cosgrove.
Yeah, and she has, like, another iCarly reboot that came out.
Yeah.
That's more, like, it's more mature, definitely, because they be cursing in that show.
Oh yeah, I remember that. But I do remember that like the lady who played Sam, she didn't
Yeah.
want to do that
Oh,
reboot
yeah,
just
Jenna
because of
McCartney, yeah.
how poorly she was treated, like on the set of the show as a child. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't even want to do the reboot with like new leadership, even
Not at all.
because of how bad it like traumatized her, which just shows that like
Yeah.
children actors are treated horribly and like nobody does anything about it because they signed a contract and they can't get out of it, even though sometimes they don't know what they're signing.
Exactly. Like, isn't that why they stopped running Sam and Cat?
Yes,
Yeah, 'cause,
because
like-
I think Ariana Grande was like treated really, really bad by that, and same with Jeanette
Yeah,
McCurdy. They were both treated
They
horribly.
were making her do like really weird things on TV. I remember
Yeah.
some stuff. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, they
why-
made her
why
like do
is-
stuff with her feet all the time because
Ooh.
it was like, why are you guys so like obsessed with
And
this
they were
girl's feet?
And they were making her do stuff with food, like on her, rubbing it on her. And I was
Yeah.
like,
That's
why? They
so
just stop.
odd.
Like, who are you trying to appeal to?
Exactly, it's kids watching this show, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's so it just looking back at it, like I watched this as a kid and then looking back at it, it's like, oh my gosh, they really put all this stuff in there and they were making this girl do that when she's like my age. Like,
Exactly. Like, it's insane. But luckily, some people have been able to be successful in those types of industries, like Zendaya. She was one. We grew up watching her on Shake It Up, and in Replay. I remember that song.
oh yeah,
She made it and all that stuff. And
yes,
it's like Casey
that one's
Undercover.
still a banger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like with Casey Undercover, and now she was able to do more with her career, because you look at, like, I don't want to compare, but like Bella Thorne, they were both on the same show. She played, I forgot her name in the show.
CC.
Cece, there we go. She played Cece in Shake It Up, but yet she isn't as, her career
You don't
isn't
hear about
booming,
her.
like Zendaya's
Yeah.
is, and it's just it's sad to see, because I feel like a lot of times with these Disney Channel stars, like, they'll be in these Disney shows and then afterwards they'll just kind of go like that,
Yeah, the
Like-
same with Bridget Mendler. Like I remember she tried to
Yeah.
have like a music career, but it just fell off.
It fell off bad.
No, because like also like what's it called? Josh Peck.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
He was like he felt like he had a lot of popularity until like it stopped. He just went all the way down.
Yeah.
And then he started showing up on the David Dobrik vlogs. I thought that was weird because he had just had a child, but he was mostly on the David Dobrik vlogs.
Yeah.
And he left like his wife alone. I'm like,
I know. I think it's like once you're like a famous child actor, like they like crave that in a way. Sometimes maybe like they want to continue like being famous. It feels weird. Like people loved you as a kid, and now they like don't care about you. Like it can kind of mess with the person's self-esteem a bit, I guess.
Like Josh, I think his name was Josh. Josh from Drake and Josh. I don't remember his actor's
Oh yeah,
name.
Josh Peck.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Well, there we go. Because like I saw him in a movie the other day on Netflix, and I was just kind of like, I didn't know that he was still acting. You know?
Exactly. Like you don't hear about him at all. Drake either, really. Like
What happened to Drake?
Drake did something really, really bad with like minors.
Oh, he in jail.
And he fled the country.
He went to Mexico, didn't he?
I think it was Mexico and some other country, and over there in Europe. He went to like both, and he was like doing songs and doing all these requests because the little girls didn't know what he had done, and he had fled the country.
He on the run.
I think he did get caught eventually, like from Twitter.
Yeah.
Because Twitter found out.
That's
Twitter
really
always-
insane.
Twitter will always know
They're coming.
you're not safe if you're on Twitter.
No, for real.
No, if your name starts showing up on trending tweets, it's
You're
over.
done.
It's
Yeah.
over.
Unless you're Beyonce. They never have anything bad to say about
True.
Beyonce.
True.
Beyonce's perfect.
Yeah, but like the Olsen twins were also successful child stars and things like that. Because, you know, they were in Full House, or was it Friends? They were in Full House, I think, yeah. And then they have like their own clothing brand and stuff now. It's been going on since like 2015, 2018, somewhere between there. You know, and they just been, you know, I wouldn't say that they're like Zendaya level superstar, but they're not unsuccessful. You know, like Wanda from the Marvel movies. I don't know her real name.
Is Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah, there we go. She's part of the Olsen family, and she's super successful. You know, she's coming out in the new Doctor Strange movie, and she has her own show with WandaVision and things like that. So their family is definitely not, you know, not well off. You know?
Yes. Like, I guess being a child star can set you up for, like, a very good future.
Yeah.
However, you have to, like, weigh out the consequences. Like, mentally, that can be a lot on a kid. And sometimes you won't even, like, maintain the fame. Sometimes you won't even, like, maintain all the money you get. So it's, like, sometimes, like, it's, like, a, I don't know, like, 10% chance or something of, like, maintaining being famous and, like, having success. And it's, so it's, like, is it really worth it to have your child go through that? Because I know a lot of kids are in, like, just random movies, and they don't even thought about, like, they're just a random movie, and they'll just be on that set for, like, hours and hours. And it's, like, it's not worth it for that, in my opinion. Like, I would never, if I had a kid, I would never, like, sign them up to, like, go through that, knowing what they go through.
Exactly. And, you know, when I was younger, I auditioned for that little Disney, you know, because Disney used to have, like, those little auditions.
Yes.
And I met Mr. Mosby. That was the peak of
met
my
Mr.
life.
Mosby? Oh my
Yes,
God.
I met Mr.
No.
Mosby. Yes, because he was the one that was, you know, doing the auditions and stuff. Great man. So sweet. He's amazing. That's besides the point.
It would make
But,
that my personality trait.
Exactly.
I'm surprised I've never heard about that. If I met Mr.
Honestly.
Mosby, I would talk about it 24/7.
I met Mr. Mosby. Okay. But yeah, I mean, like, and then I actually, you know, they called my mom back. They were like, yeah, we want to put her in this acting thing or whatever. Not like a show or anything, but like training or whatnot. And you know what? Now that all these things are coming out about the way that child stars are treated in these industries, I'm glad that she didn't accept the offer. You know, back then when I was young, I was like, Mom, why would you do that? This could have been my
True,
chance.
I
I could have
would
met
also be mad.
Zendaya. You know, I could have been on the next Shake It Up.
Exactly.
But you know what? You know, now that we know these things, I'm like, my mom made the right move. You know, like,
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I really wanted to be on that YouTube series, 7 Super Girls. Like, I really wanted to be on that. But now, like,
I love that show.
yeah, I remember they held an open audition. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to. And I asked my mom, she's like, no. But then it came out that, like, the owner of 7 Supergirls was doing very inappropriate things. He was just being he was not a great person to them. And I was like, okay.
yikes. Yeah.
I felt, because a lot of the girls have came out stating, like, why they left, or the whole channel is shut down now. They had multiple, like, 7 Awesome Kids, you know, all of those channels.
Yeah.
And they were all shut down because the owner just got exposed for being creepy.
Yeah, being gross.
Yeah, being gross and creepy, as most old men who work with kids do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially young girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do y'all think about nepotism child stars that were like,
Oh yeah.
They definitely have more connections.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know?
agree.
Yeah. Like, I mean, she's not an actor, but like Willow Smith, you know, she's a nepotism baby, and she was able to, you know, make music with like MGK and Machine Gun Kelly and, you know, Pink Panthers and things like that, you know, because her dad is Will Smith, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume that like adult actors, like, they probably know it's a hard industry. They know it's like a hard job. It's not just an
Yeah.
easy thing to take lightly. Like, people who aren't actors sometimes will think like, oh, this is easy.
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume they wouldn't put their child through that, knowing like that it's actually difficult. It's like an adult job that an adult should do. But it happens often. So it's kind of like,
It's like with Will Smith. He had made his daughter after that song popped up. Like I whip my hair back and forth. She had gone on to tour for that, and then at one point she's like, I don't want to do the tour anymore. And that was like, and Will was like, you have to do this. This is a contract. You can't just stop. To his little girl.
Right.
And then the next day she ends up cutting off all her hair, so she can't do the tour anymore because that was the main thing. She whips her hair back and forth.
That was a good move. That was smart.
yeah, it shows how bad she didn't want to do it, and it should have been eye opening to him, you know, like.
Yeah, and then like after that, we really didn't hear about Willow, but we did kind of hear about Jaden a little because, you know, he was doing Karate Kid.
Yes.
He was in like After Earth. By the way, the Karate Kid with Jaden Smith is much better than the original one from
Honestly,
the 80s.
yeah.
You cannot
agree with
change my
that.
mind.
He was also in Donald Glover's album.
Oh yeah, and then he also he makes music now too, like
Yeah.
Sire, his album and
Well,
things like that.
I'm not gonna lie, his albums are pretty good. I remember I
Yeah.
used to be obsessed with them.
But I feel like a lot of the fact that he's able to make music so good is probably from having connections through his dad or, you know, through his mom, you know, because I feel like without those connections, would he had been able to promote his album like it does? Like, would it have been like such a hit?
I highly doubt it, because if some random kid was making that music, I mean, it's not bad, but it's still
Yeah.
like, it's so hard to get known in the industry. But if your dad is Will Smith, like,
Yeah, it's just like automatic.
it's easy. Like,
You
everybody
know?
wants to listen to like a famous person's child. Like, I know Nicki Minaj's kid.
Yeah.
If he makes
Papa
a
Bear.
song, yeah, Papa Bear. If Papa Bear wants a music career, he can have a music career.
Exactly.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
She's a kid.
And then like yes,
she did.
does.
She recently had a baby. Like,
Mhm. And then Rihanna, Beyonce's kids, Blue Ivy. You know, the other day Beyonce actually had Blue Ivy dancing on one of her little performances and stuff.
oh, that's kind of cute.
So like yeah, and then you know it's like they are able to do these things because their parents are well known in the industry and have these connections, and more importantly, they have the money to be able to boost
Yes.
their kids like this.
Because
you know?
I think like starting out like a music career, starting out an acting career can be expensive too, because you have to go to like all these like fancy classes, because
Yeah.
you don't just like, you aren't just born knowing how to like do stuff. You have to go to classes. You have to have like technology to like do all that. It's
Yeah.
so
And it's not even a guarantee that you'll make it. Like that could be just all
Exactly.
thrown away, gone down the drain for no reason. 'Cause
Exactly.
You can take as many classes as you want, but if you don't have that look, if you don't have that marketable vibe or things like that, like it can all be just be in vain. you
And
know?
I think that's a big reason of why like parents of these child stars push their kids so hard, is because
Yeah.
they've spent all their money, all those resources on trying to make their kid the best. So but that can weigh a lot on a kid's mind, being like, oh, my parents spent all this money trying to get me to do this, so I have to push through, I have to be successful. So it can be
Exactly.
a lot.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's also like some parents put their child stars through like all that to get more money.
Yeah.
Because they want more money and they need it because that's like their one main source of income.
Because like a lot of parents like quit their jobs for this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because like you have to travel different places in the states or in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can't have a job because they're gonna keep asking like, when are you coming back?
Exactly.
And these stuff take like months or years.
And I feel like a lot of these parents are really just living through their child, you know,
True.
like they might have wanted to have a successful career in acting or in music, in the music industry, and they see that their child has the opportunity to do this. So they just forget about their child's well-being and just think like, what can this do for me? You know? And
Because
it's very sad.
they used to do like child what's it called, auditions at the
Yeah.
mall, in the North Park Mall.
Oh yes,
I
they
remember
did.
that.
I do
remember
remember
the whole
that.
line.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, Amma, let me go. She's like, no.
Yeah,
no,
same.
No,
I
no,
was
no,
also
no.
never would.
Mm-mm. But I thought it was crazy because like they'll just go to random places or like places with like big population, like, hey, we're doing auditions, and then every kid wants to go.
Yeah.
It was like, it took us it's the excitement, and also it's the parents wanting the money, like you said.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, you know. But luckily, there are some actors out there that had good parents, you know, that were able to protect them.
Yeah, having a parent that will actually fight for you is like crucial to being a child actor. If your parent just wants money, like
you're just over. Yeah,
I think it very much has to be the child's like idea. Even if it's a child's idea, I feel like every kid is like, oh, I want to be a rock star, but it's like, no, you don't.
Right.
You don't know what you're talking about. You know.
There's a lot of these, you know, musicians that we know now, and they've died in like very tragic ways because of like the stress or, you know, like the mental illness they might have taken on because of being in the industry and things like that. You know, like it's not easy.
I know there's like there's constant pressure to like produce, come out with new movies, come out with new shows. It's constant for these kids, and it's like you're too young. Like I know like people who are like 16 and they like get famous, and everyone's like, oh, when's your next movie? When's your next movie? And they're like, oh, I just want to like do school. Like I know the Stranger Things kids.
I was just about to say the Stranger Things kids.
They're like, when's the next season coming? When's the next season coming? Exactly. And they're all like, well, we kind of have to like do school.
And they all just are still like older teenagers, right? Like 19, 20, like, around that age. Like the It kids as well, you know, in that movie and stuff. Like I mean, it's just
but
like.
And fans just keep like pressuring them. It's like you don't like they're kids.
It's
like, they can't constantly be making movies. They have to go to school. They have their own families and lives and friends. It's
like they're growing.
I can't imagine having a social life as like a child actor who's constantly having, because they don't live at home while they're making these movies usually.
Exactly.
So that's like
you know, there's a good example of that in the movie Bolt. Because you remember there was a young girl, you know, and she was also a child star, and then, you know, her dog Bolt ran away, and by the end of the movie, she had left the industry because it was too much. It was too stressful, you know. Like they just got a replacement for her dog, and she was like, "This is not Bolt. This is not, you know, this is not my homie." That's not what she said, but you know,
that's the idea.
It was, you know, But I think that's like, it's not like super. It's not very realistic. You know, because it's like it follows the travels of like the dog, and then they meet like a gerbil, and then there's like a cat. And all that stuff. But I think it's just like a good example of, you know, the amount of stress that like child stars go through. You know, because like even by the end of the movie, like the set or whatever was like up in flames, and her manager or PR or whatever was like still asking her like, you know, when's the next time we're gonna, you know, get to filming, or, you know, things like that. They didn't even care about her well-being.
They were getting mad at her too.
Exactly.
Like, where's the dog? Like, just act with this dog.
Exactly.
She's like, no.
There was no connection. And it's just a great example of, you know, the things that these child stars go through. You know, I mean, luckily there are some that have been able to make it out. You know, like Megan Fox. I don't want to say she necessarily made it out, but she was, you know, treated horribly at like such a young age, you know, and luckily she doesn't seem to be suffering too bad, you know.
So yeah, that's all we have for our hot topic, and we'll be right back.
There's only
This is KSBM Radio, the voice of Townview, where we talk about the latest news, entertainment, and sports, and our very special hot topic.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. Bye-bye.
And we're back. So first thing we're going to talk about is the Grammys. Doja Cat and BTS.
Yes. Wow. So they were, I guess, they were the main highlight of the night. Because they were the only ones I was hearing about, you know, after it was over.
Yes. So with BTS, I know they were invited to the Grammys. This is their third time being invited to the Grammys, and they didn't win anything despite how popular they were. Like all 3 years, I feel like especially in like 2020, they were super popular.
Exactly.
So it makes no sense that they haven't won anything all these years, yet they keep getting invited.
Exactly. And a lot of the times, a lot of these award shows, they'll invite them, but they'll save their performance to the end, because, you know, the fans are going to wait until they perform. Yes, because I know
the BTS fans are like hardcore fans.
Yeah.
They will bring the Grammys a lot of attention if they have BTS.
Exactly.
ARMY? Yes.
Love you, ARMY.
Yeah, exactly.
We started with ARMY.
Yeah, because they know what they're doing by you know, having them invited, because they do have some very
But
hardcore
wasn't this like
fans.
the first time where they had like their own time, like their own stage time?
Yeah.
Because like the last one they had it with Lil Nas X,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really remember the first time they had it. I don't think they had a
I don't think
performance
they
the
even
first time.
performed the first time.
No.
Yeah, no, they were just invited, I think,
Mhm.
because I don't remember them. I think they performed DNA, and I think that was like the first little solo stage that they did. But I don't remember exactly what the issue was with the performance, but I do remember some fans being upset with the way that it was run and things like that.
I think it's because they had put fake fans to look like them
Oh, yes.
instead of
they
actually
did.
putting the real fans that were
Mhm.
like besides them.
Exactly. They didn't invite the real fans. I don't really know how the Grammy works for people that aren't celebrities that are invited. I don't know if they like sell tickets or things like that. But yeah, like there is every single year BTS has been invited to the Grammys. There's been an issue,
Yeah.
and I think that kind of speaks volumes about the Grammys itself. It's insane. Yeah.
And like they would only like show like little snippets of them, like passing when the camera passes the audience.
Yeah.
They'll show little ones. I'm like,
Just to keep
Oh,
people
they're
on the
They're
edge.
teasing.
Yeah.
yeah, they're, like just enough to appease the fans, but not enough to like actually,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And go ahead.
no, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say they've been nominated twice for a Grammy for like best pop group, best pop duo, or whatever that category is and things like that. And every single time they've lost. Like Doja Cat, she recently won Grammy for best pop duo with SZA for their song "Kiss Me More." And I'm not saying that she didn't deserve that Grammy because she absolutely did. Like
yes,
watching
that
her.
song was so good.
Exactly.
Honestly, that song was really good.
And like seeing her come up and things like that, like she 100% deserved that Grammy. But it's just like we know what the Academy is. I don't think they're the Academy. That's the Oscars. But we know that like the Grammys, we know what they're doing. Like everybody knows what they're doing, but they know that people are gonna watch regardless because it is BTS.
Yes,
You
they
know?
will, 100%.
Yeah.
And I also heard like with Doja Cat and her Grammy, she had been nominated for another one. And I think it was like the best like female voice.
Mm-hmm.
But Olivia Rodrigo won over her.
Oh yes, people were so upset about that. Yeah.
Like, how long because I feel like Doja Cat has been like
She's
in the
been out
music
for a while.
industry.
Yes,
longer.
for definitely like
She's been out longer than Olivia Rodrigo. I know that much.
100%. Because I haven't heard of Olivia Rodrigo until like this year. I know she did
Yeah.
have a famous song back in like
Yeah.
a few years ago, but it was just one song, and I didn't even know her name because she was like a one-hit wonder back then. But now like she released a
Exactly.
new album, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh!" Because it was Driver's License. I think that
Mhm.
really like
That's what
everybody
took
got
off.
the hype.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And it's just like I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like she has been in the industry long enough to be deserving of a Grammy.
Mhm.
yes,
like
and this year like she really like got really famous.
Right.
Many of her songs went viral.
but I feel like the Grammys is just turning into like the MTV Awards or like the
Yeah.
Nickelodeon Awards. It's
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, honestly, because
Exactly.
you didn't hear about the Grammys
didn't
until
get
the
much
next day.
coverage.
exactly.
Exactly.
Because it's like when you think of these prestigious events like Met Gala, Oscars, Grammys, it's supposed to be like sophisticated.
Yes, everybody's
You
supposed to
know?
be tuning in. Everybody's supposed to know when it's happening.
Exactly.
I didn't hear anything about it until after it happened. I was like, oh, the Grammys happened?
Exactly. And it's just kind of like, for lack of a better term, it's like it's falling off. Like the quality isn't there like it
Yeah,
used to
and
be.
I heard they invited a lot of TikTokers.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
Why are
what?
TikTokers at the Grammys?
For real.
I know. That's how you feel like TikTok has taken over because I know a lot of TikTokers, they make music careers now. It's kind of like YouTubers.
Oh,
Like back
yeah.
in like
my
2019
gosh,
when all
yeah.
the YouTubers would try and make music careers. Now it's
Exactly.
like all the TikTokers are trying to have music careers. And like the fact that they got invited to the Grammys this year is like, whoa.
Insane.
whoa,
And
whoa.
like that one chick, I don't remember her name, but she was invited to the Met Gala. And everybody was like, why is she there?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Like, what are you doing?
Exactly. And then she didn't even serve. Like, girl, you're coming to the Met Gala and you're wearing that?
Exactly.
Like, girl.
That's like the event of the year.
Exactly. It's just prestigious. Like, you're supposed to come with it. You know, you came in this little simple red dress that wasn't really serving.
I'm like, it's red. Like a lot of people have done red.
Exactly.
No, you could have at least added patterns or like much
Yeah.
more pizzazz.
And if you want to do something simple with the dress, at least let your accessories
Mm.
bring it out, you know. And her accessories were lacking as well. And same thing with the Grammys. For the life of me, I cannot think of her name, but she's on Paul Allison something. Not
Allison.
Allison.
Oh, is it like Addison Rae?
Addison Rae.
Oh,
there we go.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Addison Rae. Okay, yes.
Yeah,
now I
Addison
know.
Rae. And it's just kind of like, why is she being invited to the Grammys? And like,
Does she even make music? I didn't.
Yeah, she made a
does.
song or two.
And she
Okay.
also acted in a movie on Netflix.
Oh, that one like hurt. I watched a reaction to that and I was like, oh no, because it was a remake of an old movie.
Yeah,
And I was like,
Sorry.
oh sorry.
of an older movie.
Older movie.
Sorry. Has a little special place in my heart for me.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
It
we're
was
so
an older-
sorry, Sid Lolly.
Sorry, Sid Lolly.
So which one do you prefer, the Addison Rae version or the?
No, I
original?
didn't watch the Addison Rae version.
Oh, just she didn't want that special place in her heart to be ruined.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But like the thing is we're seeing a lot of influencers being invited to these events. You know, it's just kind of like, how does somebody go from dancing on TikTok
In their
To-
bedroom, you know.
to being invited to the Met Gala? Like,
Literally.
it's like you see pictures with like Bretman Rock, you know, taking pictures with like SZA, and I'm just like, what is going
are you?
on? Like,
But
who are you?
I kind of like Bretman Rock. I feel like he should be there because he's done a lot for himself. He's very fashionable and all that.
Yeah, he's been out for a while,
Yeah.
but it's just like Lil Huddy. Like, why are they, you know, Hype House? Why are they getting their own Netflix show? And I know we're going a little bit off topic, but it's just like the Grammys and these prestigious events, you know, it's just kind of like they're declining in quality.
Honestly,
You know, it's just kind of like they're inviting whoever the random people, and they're nominating the people who are popular. Like I feel like they're nominating the people who they know will get them the best views. You know, who will bring in the best money, and just like they know, it's just nominating people that are popular, not nominating people based off of the quality of their music and things like that. It's insane.
I still can't get over that. Like how Olivia Rodrigo won over Doja. 'Cause Doja
Exactly.
has such a beautiful voice, and a
I
lot of her
agree,
songs
yes.
were like
She's
really
so-
big hits.
Exactly, and she's so versatile. Like she's not just making one type of sound. She has like multiple different types of sounds, and it's just like, wow.
And I think it was like with one song, she did like multiple versions. Like there was a gothic one. There was like
Yeah.
I feel like a 20s version.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't remember which one, but I thought I was like, wow, this is amazing, and she looked beautiful and stunning in it.
Exactly, like she works hard. Like if you compare her song Tia Tamara to like Kiss Me More, like she is incredibly
Yes,
versatile.
I agree.
you
And plus,
know?
she's popular on TikTok,
exactly.
and she has a lot of Instagram lives. So like,
She's very
what?
relatable.
Where was the mix up here?
Exactly.
Exactly.
She's like on every platform. I would say she's one of the most famous people.
Exactly.
I don't know. I can't scroll through TikTok for a day and not
Hear about
hear
Doja
a Doja Cat
Honestly.
song.
Exactly.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like it's impossible. If you can do
Exactly.
it, kudos to you. But you
For
know,
real.
not me.
Because
For
like
real.
a lot of her songs keep coming back onto TikTok.
Exactly. It's like a different remix, like a sped up version, a slowed
Yes,
down version,
exactly.
a different
A
version.
lo-fi hip hop version.
Exactly, and they do the same thing with like Nicki Minaj. Like every single
Yes,
time
Nicki
there's a new
Minaj.
trend, it's a Nicki Minaj verse.
Yes.
You know,
But moving on to like Thor: Love and Thunder, I was like, he's hitting another movie, and I'm pretty excited for that because the last one was pretty funny.
Yeah,
I kind of liked
Ragnarok.
it. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I really like that movie.
The Rock.
No,
no, Ragnarok. It would be funny if they had him on the face of the poster with that little eyebrow he be doing. I can't do it, but you know, like he be having it.
Yeah.
It's the smolder.
It's
It's
iconic.
smaller. Yeah, but Thor: Love and Thunder. That Chris Hemsworth, he started the promotion of it, so we don't have any information on what it's going to be about. You know, we don't have a trailer or anything like that. But Chris Hemsworth, he made a Instagram post where he was like sitting down, you know, like those little actor chairs or whatever.
Oh,
that they
yes.
have. And he was doing like a little peace sign with one of his co-stars, the girl that played Valkyrie. I don't know her actual name, but she played the Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok. And they were posing, and then there was one other actor. He's new because he was not in Ragnarok, so he's definitely going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder. But they were like posing, and he made a caption about the movie, and you know, they're basically starting the teasers. You know,
Yes. So it's happening. It's
Exactly.
happening.
Yeah. It said there was gonna come out in 2022.
it should be coming out. I mean, they're starting the promotion, so it'll probably come out maybe around the summertime or maybe like fall. You know, things like that, because we have Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness coming out next month. So I don't think they would have it, you know,
Yeah.
like back to back like that, you know.
But I don't know because like they haven't released a date, so are they gonna push it back a year or they're just making it a surprise? Like,
I mean, because
what's
it's just like a lot of Marvel movies did get pushed back, and I think that's why they're releasing so much. Like now, like I think within this year, we've already had with Thor, including Thor: Love and Thunder and Doctor Strange's new movie. We've had 3 Marvel movies, because that includes Spider-Man too.
Yes.
You know, and it's just like I feel like because a lot of them were pushed back, they're just like, okay, push this out, push this out, push this out, and then go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And then it's like also they're starting the multiverse, so they don't have to release like one movie at a time, because everything is connected, so they can release one movie here and then release another one there and then have it all come together,
Yeah.
you know?
And I think that makes it a lot easier for them.
And plus, like it's the summer. A lot of movie companies want to push out for the summer because that's where they get the most of the money for box
which makes
office.
sense.
Exactly,
Makes sense.
because everybody's off, you know, everybody's at home, especially the teenagers and stuff. Us. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to watch it. They got my ticket.
Exactly.
Same with the Doctor Strange movie. I'm super excited for that because I know I found it interesting that he was in like the Spider-Man movie. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That collab kind of like intrigued me. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I never really thought about that. And now like we got a little glimpse into him, and now we're gonna learn a bit more about him, which is pretty exciting to me.
That
For real.
is. Also with Morbius, it had recently just came out.
April 1st.
April 1st?
Yeah.
And I honestly, the trailer had a lot of CGI and all that, and I didn't think it was going to be that good.
Yeah.
Like, I heard a lot of people didn't like it, because on the premiere, I had saw it on Twitter, where, like, they said the Morbius premiere, there was only him and this one other guy in the whole thing. I was like, oh.
I heard it got really bad reviews, like really horrible. Like emoji movie. Bad
Oh,
reviews,
no.
you know, like-
Not emoji movie. Then that's bad.
I don't know.
Because nobody liked the emoji movie.
Maybe not quite as bad, but you know, like
Not good.
not what you would expect
From a
honestly.
Marvel movie,
Yeah,
at
exactly. From Marvel
You
movies,
know?
you
And
expect like 98%.
Exactly.
Yeah, 'cause,
Or at
like,
least in the 80s.
They got like 16% on Rotten Tomatoes, and this movie
Ooh.
has been pushed back for 3 years. So like,
Yeah.
what
Like,
was
they
going
were working
on?
on it for 3 years to make something that's 16% on Rotten
Honestly.
Tomatoes.
I would have been pissed off if I was the producer, the director, even Jared Leto, the actor who played Morbius. I would have been mad.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, my movie? Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
And he hyped it up a lot, cause like, but at the same time, I heard that on set, I had read an article that he was kind of like infuriating to work with.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But you know what? He also had that controversy when he was playing the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Oh,
You know? Like, nobody liked... He was sending bullets to his co-stars to, like, try to
That's
get
so-
into the role.
Creepy.
yeah, that's what he was
What's wrong
doing
with
this
you?
time, cause he made people push him to the restroom in a wheelchair. I was like, why though?
Ridiculous, honestly.
He's insane.
Yeah, maybe I would make his movie bad on purpose if I was the editor too.
Honestly.
Exactly.
Maybe that was the
Sabotaging his
reason.
career.
They're just trying to like.
Exactly. If you're gonna be a jerk.
Like, for real. And then for some music news, Willow Smith and Camila Cabello are collabing. You know, and we talked a little bit about this earlier with, you know, her having connections in the industry and stuff like that. So they're making a new song. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not a fan of Camila Cabello. I feel like recently Willow Smith's collabs have been very poor.
Yep. Yeah, I don't.
You know?
Yeah.
I did not like it. Like, especially like the emo one. Like, I'm an
Emo
emo girl.
girl
I'm like, oh
With Machine Gun
gosh.
Kelly, it was bad because she started off so good, like with Transparent Soul, and then like her most recent album that's come out lately, I Feel. That's the name of her album that came out
Yes.
like over the summer. Like they were both like
They were so good. I remember listening to them all day long. They
No.
were so good.
And then like her previous albums was like her album called Willow and things like that. Like they were so good, and now it's just like, girl, you're collabing with Camila Cabello that doesn't even fit like your style of music.
Especially right now, because she's trying to go for like a more emo gothic version. Because like if
Exactly.
you see on her Instagram, she's dressing more like edgy and all that.
Like, girl, if you want to do some emo songs, why don't you just call The Cure?
yeah,
make a song
not
with-
Camila
Evanescence.
Cabello.
No, for real.
She has
Call
the
Pierce the
connections.
Veil. Like, hello? But we'll be right back after this short break.
Good, wasn't it? Well, there's more to come. We'll be right back after this short break. This is KC Radio, the voice of Townview. So we're back, and first things first, we're going to talk about Elon Musk and his relaunchable rocket called the Falcon 9.
Mr. Elon and his SpaceX.
Yes, he's always up to something.
Honestly.
Always up to
Something.
something, whether it's a car or a rocket ship. I think the fact that he's making a relaunchable rocket ship, which is what's like so unique about this one, is super cool because
Is it like recyclable? Is that what he means?
yeah,
by,
like you know,
relaunch?
most rocket ships,
Sorry.
like, you know, like they're supposed to go up once and then like you
Yeah.
know
They don't really come back.
They don't really come back. Yeah.
And plus, they're very expensive to make.
Yeah.
That's why he was arguing for SpaceX a long time ago when he started it. Like,
Yeah.
why is all this stuff so expensive? And like,
Exactly.
why? And then they get thrown away in our atmosphere, and then they just circle around it and make
And
it
it
more.
makes junk. Yeah.
It makes junk. So he's like, I'm gonna make this company, and make the first relaunchable rocket.
Oh wow, that's kind of smart on his part. I mean, I don't know too much about it to fully say that I support what he's doing because I'm not an Elon Musk fan. But based off of this information, I mean, it does sound it might be at least a little bit cleaner for the planet.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea. I think the fact that, like, space travel, you know, like,
Yeah.
it's more cost effective, even if it is more expensive to build this rocket.
At least you won't have to build.
Yeah, you won't have to
another
build it
one,
over and
another
over
one,
again.
another
Like, it
one.
can
Yeah.
launch pretty much infinitely amount of time. So that's really, it's
That's
really nice for
cool.
people who are into space, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the future.
But you know, like he's making all this stuff and things like that. But then doesn't he have 2 kids with Grimes?
Yes,
like,
he
dude, Where your
does.
kids?
I mean, I guess that's true, but, you know.
You know?
We were looking at like a couple of pictures earlier, and then Mr. Fink, one of them said it looked like a tampon.
yeah, cause guys.
Mr. Elon, we 100% completely respect your rocket.
But it kind of looks
Uh-huh.
a little funny.
But yeah, I mean, what do you guys, other than the fact that it might be cleaner for the planet, like what do you guys think in general about him, you know, working with things that have to do with space?
I think.
Because like we know him as the dude that made Tesla.
Yeah,
You
that's what
know.
I know him as well.
And now he's making things for like space travel. Like, what do you guys think of that?
I think it's really cool, like, cause like at least like a billionaire is starting like to do stuff for our planet
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
making like transportation in space more available. Cause like who is it that I think it's Elon Musk like to travel to Mars.
Yeah, he wants like civilians to travel to like be able to go to the moon and stuff, which is kind of
Like that movie Don't Look Up.
Oh
when
yeah.
they went to
Oh,
the
gosh.
planet at the end. Yeah.
That was crazy.
Okay, would you guys go to the moon? Like if you could like afford it and all that, like
No.
would you, like I would be scared, honestly.
There's a
Yeah.
reason why they stopped going to the moon because a lot of stuff
Exactly.
happened up there
I would
and
be
a lot
so
of weird things
terrified.
happened.
Yeah.
And I know this might sound really weird, but I just feel like if I were to go to the moon because of like the Earth being like destroyed, 'cause, you know, they're saying like, oh, we should go back to the Mars once the Earth
Yeah,
is like
no.
that bad. Like, I would feel bad just because we're about to go ruin another planet.
Yes.
Honestly.
You know, like I would feel really bad doing that. And I'm just like, if I were to go to another planet, I would want to be as respectful as
Yes,
possible.
exactly.
You know, like I feel like that doesn't really make complete sense, but I feel like you guys understand what I'm
You
saying.
know, I get what
Yeah,
you
we
mean.
get it.
You know, like I don't want to visit another planet because we're about to go destroy it because we destroyed the other one and it's no longer livable.
Yeah.
Space
You know?
colonialism.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like I don't want to do that.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, why is he so focused on like going to space? Like, why are we as a society
Because
so
he knows.
why are we so into space?
He
But
knows.
we can just be like working on fixing our planet.
And
Like,
he has the money.
Exactly.
He has the
like,
money
he
to
could-
fix
he
the
could
planet.
make more like technologies that could like save our Earth, but it's like, why are you
Yeah,
why are you
'cause
focusing all your energy on this rocket?
He-
But
he
that's
kn-
just me.
He knows where the Earth is going, and he knows how bad it's been getting, and you know. I mean, if you got the money, why not just build a rocket to go off to Mars and not have to worry about what's
Sure.
going on
Yeah,
Earth?
why
You
not?
know,
It reminds
it's
me.
insane.
It reminds me of that one movie that just came out on HBO with what's that one girl from To All the Boys?
Lana Condor.
yes.
Oh yeah,
She was starting it. I watched it because of her because I really like her. I think she's
Yeah.
cool.
There you go.
And I was watching it because the whole plot of the movie is the guy, which is Cole Sprouse.
Sprouse, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the main interest, and he wants to go into space and to Mars because he wants like I need adventure, I need all this, I need to get off this dirty
Yeah.
planet.
Oh my God.
Edgy.
I'm not like the other dudes.
Like honestly, kind of. Like,
Bang bang. The bang.
and like, what was her name? I'm so sorry.
Lana Condor.
Lana, she loves Earth. Like she's like a really smart person in the movie. Like she's building this. She has a thesis where she's gonna help the Earth and like destroy all the trash because at that point it's very trashy the Earth and everyone is moving to Mars.
So it's kind of like Wall-E, but
Yeah,
like human
kind of.
version.
Kind
Yeah.
of, but her boyfriend is in Mars and
Yeah.
loves living in Mars, but she doesn't love Mars at all. I'm like, I wouldn't either because Mars
It's
is
a
kind
really
of.
long distance
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole plot of the movie, like them going to Mars and all that.
My question is, I wonder if Elon Musk is ever gonna get like the internet over to a different planet.
Yeah, true. That's
You
interesting.
know?
I feel like he would be able to
Yeah.
somehow, some way. Like there could be satellites that
mean,
can reach Mars.
He has the money to do it. I'm
Yeah.
sure one day he'll find out a way. You know,
I feel like it'd be really, really hard though.
It
For
would,
real.
be. It would take a
Long
lot.
bus-
It would take a long time.
Because you can't use like power lines.
Yeah.
You can't put up little poles in space.
I mean,
Like,
maybe. No,
they can do. They could.
I mean, well,
They could
now
do
that I think about it,
satellites.
Yeah, they could do satellite. I mean, but who would do it? Like AT&T
yeah,
or
for
maybe
real.
T-Mobile?
If you write them a big enough check. for
Right.
apps.
Because like Apple was working on that actually a year or two ago. I had
No
read
way.
a thing where like Apple would be start using like satellites to create the internet, and make it faster, like in
Kinda
space.
crazy.
And they had like launched it a few years ago, but it hasn't been talked about since.
Oh, okay, so it flopped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or like maybe I thought it was so cool. I was telling my parents like, "Oh my god, look what Apple's doing." They ignored me.
Oh, they knew. They knew its
knew.
future.
Yeah.
But I think they're still working on it. I think it was like a little prototype where like they're
Oh,
officially
okay.
releasing like, "Hey, we're doing this."
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm sure it would take longer than 2 years to make a satellite that could
Go to space.
transmit
yeah.
internet. You know. But yeah.
And it was to be cheap. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. That was like the
It's
big
fine.
thing. It was like really, really cheap. They were gonna make it
Oh.
really cheap
Yeah.
for the
Okay,
people to
cool.
buy. But continue slowly.
Moving on to our next topic, coffee shop strike. Can you tell us a little
Oh.
bit more about that?
Yeah, so this employees at this coffee shop it's called Darwin Coffee. It's in Massachusetts. All 4 of their locations had a 7-minute walkout. While even though the stores were like it was during rush hour, it was filled with people, and they like made an announcement. I know it went viral on TikTok, so that's how a lot of people heard about it. They made an announcement saying like you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for your coffee. They explained their demands, like they wanted to unionize. However, their management wasn't really working with them to help meet their demands. They were like, yeah, we'll do it, but then they would never set up times to meet with them.
Oh,
They would never make
goodness.
any efforts.
Yeah.
So they set up this walkout for 7 minutes, and they explained how like coffee shops all around the world, like including Starbucks, they're like many coffee shops are not like treating employees well. Like they are, especially Darwin coffee shops, they were understaffed. They couldn't take breaks basically, which is if you're standing up for 8 hours, you need like at least a 30-minute break to sit down
Oh
and
my
eat.
God. And you're busy walking back and forth, making coffee, dealing with
Exactly,
real
all
customers.
day long. Like it's not sustainable to live like that. That's why so many people were quitting, and that's why they had this walkout that went viral on TikTok. And it's true for a lot of other work environments. Like it kind of just like raises alarm that even in like Massachusetts, where the places like the minimum wage is pretty high there too, like they're still not treating their employees well.
And you expected like from the east side for them to treat their employees more well.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
because they have the higher minimum wage, all of that stuff. They sound like but they still don't. Like all around the world, like
It's terrible.
Like retail workers, service workers are treated
Yeah.
horribly.
And like I don't get that. Like I don't get like why don't they make the minimum wage higher or like at least accommodate for them when they're the one dealing with the customers the most, like the public.
Exactly. Like they make all your sales, they make you all your money.
Money,
How are you
right.
gonna make like 20 times as much as they do? Like
I don't
Exactly.
think it's all around the world. I think it's just in the U.S. This seems
Well,
like
yeah,
only a U.S. thing.
it is all U.S. Like
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like in the South it's hard, especially here in Texas.
in the South, it's really bad. The minimum wage is $7.25, which
No,
is
for real.
ridiculous.
And I know in California they raised it to 15, but even then California's
Yeah.
expensive.
And that's still not even a livable wage. Like a livable wage nowadays is $25. Like,
Wow. Yeah.
and that's still not even guaranteed that that'll, be enough for a person to get through their day to day. And it's insane. Like I saw this post on social media, and it was about how this boomer was saying, back in my day, we made $7 too. And it's just like,
Yeah, like-
yeah,
there-
but it was cheaper.
exactly. Like
Exactly.
their $7 back then is $19 today. And it's
Right.
just like
Have you seen the gas prices?
exactly,
Honestly,
$4 a gallon?
like
Are you kidding
inflation.
me?
exactly. Like, are you not aware of inflation? Like, what's going on?
Have you not taken economics?
And like that's the thing with like our city, Dallas. They had just started talking about the bullet train again because of the gas prices.
Yeah.
Because a long time ago they had advertised we're gonna have a bullet train from Dallas to Houston. It's like it's a really big thing,
Yeah.
and then nothing ever talked about
That
it
would be so
again.
awesome though.
Honestly.
But we
having a bullet
need
train.
better transportation, especially here in like Dallas. The transportation is like horrible, and you look at these other countries like in Europe and in like East Asia and things like that. How
In
they have like
Thailand.
how they have like these amazing transportation systems.
Exactly.
It's just like for here, and you know the energy over there is a lot cleaner because of it. Like I won't say that they don't have as much pollution because China is like the number one coal burner in the world and things like
Yes.
that. So they have a lot of pollution, but at least their transportation systems are there to like accommodate the people.
Their streets are cleaner too.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Like at least they're trying, like with
Yeah.
everything else. Even though they have like this really bad thing, like
Exactly.
they're trying for everything else. But like especially in Texas, like it's a big
The
state.
transportation
Exactly.
is
And it
bad.
sucks. It really is, because like North Dallas is the one with like most transportation. Every other part
Yeah.
of Dallas, like
And even in North Dallas, the transportation isn't even
It's
that good. Like
terrible.
it's nothing compared to New York. They have it. They seem to have it pretty figured out. Like New York's public
Exactly.
transportation is awesome.
And even though the New York trains be nasty, dirty, people
Yeah,
are
at
getting
least they
killed
have
over
them.
there, all that type
the
of
rats
stuff.
are scary.
And it's just like at least they have like a method of transportation that's there for everybody.
yes, like and it's more
You know?
affordable than having a car. Having to have a car, pay for gas, all of that.
Pay a car
like,
note every month. Like it's just like
yeah, like
it's
they talk
insane.
about how expensive New York is, but you think about it, like you don't need a car there, and cars are pretty expensive.
Yeah,
Like,
and you know what? They kind of make up for that with the price of housing, but that's a different
yeah,
topic.
I mean, yeah.
for a
I'm
different
just
day.
saying, like it's kind
You
of
know?
like it evens out in a way.
Yeah. But like you know, a lot of people you hear about how they go to New York and then they just kind of get rid of their car.
Exactly.
You know?
And in San Francisco, I remember there was this tour guide. He's like, I'm the first person in my family to learn how to drive, because they've all lived in San Francisco, and you don't need a
Yeah.
car up there.
It's really good. You know?
They must be really like athletic because them hills.
Oh yeah.
Them hills be so
Terrible.
deep and terrible.
But they got trolleys and like subways
they
and all
do.
that.
Yeah, you know, and it'll keep you healthy to walk a few places. You know,
Yeah.
it won't kill you to walk a mile.
Yeah, for
which
real.
is kind of
Walk a
nice.
mile in these Louboutins. Sorry,
But
I had to
yeah,
get
with,
that joke off.
With the coffee shop strike, I feel like I honestly thought that they would have a better union. Like that's like the thing that's mind boggling. Like why don't they have a better union up there?
Exactly.
I know.
Because like it's in Massachusetts.
And then you see with like Amazon, the union workers are doing the same thing. Like they were going on strike and
Yes.
things like that, and they, actually were able to get things done. And it's kind of sad to see that these people, don't have a better union, and it's harder for them to, speak out about these issues.
And I hope
things
we
like
get
that.
like an update saying that like hopefully the management will actually listen now. Now that a lot of people now that it's like gone viral, it takes like the internet coming at a company. It's kind of sad that it takes
Exactly.
like them becoming popular to force management to do something. But I think now that it became popular, the management will kind of be forced to like give them breaks at least, like
Exactly.
because that's horrible. Like,
Like, doing like a 9-hour shift and no 30-minute break.
Exactly.
That's like
that's
hell.
like isn't that like illegal? I'm pretty sure
It
It's
is.
horrible.
It has
So-
to be.
But like, there's similar things. Like, cause my dad's job, oh god, his union is so bad. They only give him 15-minute breaks throughout the whole day. And he goes like from 3 a.m. to like 4 p.m. or some stuff like that, or like really
Oh,
really
that's
late
so
in the day.
bad.
Oh my
Just
god.
15-minute break.
Yeah, and he has to eat really fast, and plus it's really really hot in there. It's like not a good condition,
And that's over 12 hours. That's 13 hours a day.
and he only sleeps like 6 hours, cause then he has to go to the next shift.
My god.
And I'm like,
That has to be illegal.
it is, but
Yes.
it's allowed because in Texas they have a bad union, and the people that had his job made a bad union deal.
Oh.
Because it used to not be like this. It used to be better. So I was like, So it was like, that's why it's so mind-boggling. Like up there, they don't have
It
it.
just shows that we should
Yeah.
have like better laws to protect people. You know.
Protect workers, especially because
Yes.
now we're, hitting that age where we're, I know most of us in here already have like jobs and things like that, but soon, with graduating and things like that, we're going to be getting like top dog type of jobs.
Yeah, big
you know?
big girl job.
big buck jobs.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, it's terrible. Like, I don't want to start working and then go into an industry or something like that where union is bad, or, you know,
place that doesn't respect you.
Exactly. Like, they don't treat workers like they're human, unfortunately. More like working machines that make me money.
Yeah,
Exploited.
And the funny thing is that a lot of his, because he does boxes,
Yeah.
it's a lot from Amazon.
Oh, my God.
So I was like, Amazon.
And, you know, Amazon be working their workers to death. Oh, my
Yes.
God.
They talked about that in a show in South Park in the newest like season.
Yeah.
They talked about that, how like the whole town, they had the mayor allowed for Amazon to put a thing right there because the town was struggling with jobs.
Yeah.
And that happened, but they weren't. A lot of people were getting killed in the Amazon job,
Yes.
so they did a strike.
It's terrible. It's just terrible. But that's all the time we have for today, guys. Again, I'm Pluto, and I'm here with.
Mr. Penguin.
Sit, Lolly.
And Onion.
Don't forget to follow us on our social medias, like on Facebook at KSBM Radio, on Instagram and TikTok at KSBM.TVT, and on Twitter at KSBM_TVT. Bye-bye, guys.
Don't you ever leave me, don't you ever go.
We'll never really leave you. We'll be back same time, same place next week.